Well, man, behind the scenes, it's a new day in the shop. I can only mean one thing. It's time to tackle some new projects.
Yes, it is. You got your thinking cap on?
I do.
Okay.
All right, we pretty much got our frame stretching done. We got to make some cross members and stuff in there and figure out where we're going to mount our lift axle. But before we do that, I need to get a few final dimensions to the bed company to get this bed ordered. So to do that, I need to figure out how my custom exhaust we're going to build is going to work on here. So before we can build new exhaust, we got to take the old exhaust off. So.
And it's brand new.
It's brand new.
Make somebody heck of a
Can't
deal
believe
on
you're
this
gonna, can't believe you're talking me into taking brand new exhaust off the truck.
Well, I keep it on there, but it's not you. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. All right, let's get this old stuff off, and then we'll start brainstorming on the new. All right, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, we're gonna go with my custom steel tube exhaust. That's what I've been kind of known for around these parts. Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do, first things first, we're just gonna piece this together and kind of see how it goes. I don't want these stacks to stick out any farther than the cab. I kind of want them right in line with the cab, which are gonna be a little bit hidden between the cab and the bed. But I think that's going to be best, because especially on that side, when you climb up on there, if it sticks out too far, it's pretty much going to be out there in the step. So I think we need to keep them tucked in relatively tight. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, when the bed's up, you're going to see them.
Oh yeah, and you're going to see them up above the bed, which is the whole purpose of doing this. So I think first things first, we need to cut us our bottom tube. I think we basically need to measure the width of the cab and probably minus, so that tube's going to come across the bottom, the stack's going to sit on a diagonal. So we need to measure the width of the cab minus 5" on a diagonal times 2. That makes perfect sense, right? All right, let me go around the other side. Can you measure out here, Aaron?
Oh, what are you on?
Just like sticking underneath. Yeah, just kind of eyeball in there.
I'm hooked on the end there.
I'm
right on.
I call that 76.
76. Now I went with the flat part, not the rounded part.
All right. So the cab's 76 inches wide. This is our 5 inch 3/16 wall tubing. It's 6 3/4 on a diameter, on a diagonal. So let's just do this. Let's just call it 6 inches. So we'll take a foot, we'll take 12 inches off 76 inches. No, we can't do that. See, I'm thinking out loud, because half of that tube will sit inside our cross tube. So we didn't take 6 inches off that.
Yeah.
Duh, why did you guys think of that?
Yeah.
So 76 minus 6 is 70. I nailed it. All right, let's cut us 170 inches and hope it's right.
Yeah.
Well, this is what you call commitment. There she goes. Hope it's right.
I do too.
All right, here we go. Can you handle your end?
Oh man, I got it. Don't worry. I got the heavy end.
Yeah. I got the heavy end. My end's got the camera on it.
Ah.
Yep.
Now, are you thinking if I center it up between these two brackets?
You need to center it up over top of that hole coming up through that tank.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Getting pretty close right there.
Okay. So we got this kind of positioned up here roughly where we're at. We're going to hold this off the cab a little bit. It's kind of by design. I'm hoping I can maybe get a shovel rack or a rake rack on the back side of this, and I got to keep it off my step. The step's kind of offset from the cab right here, so I got to kind of crowd that back a little bit. That's what kind of played into our measurements yesterday, lengthening this frame on where these stacks are going to go. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a 1/2 inch gusset plate. It's going to come up, probably angle from about here to here, kind of encompass around that as it kind of sits down the notch. I want that thing to be rigid. I got a feeling it's going to take a hit on a tree limb or something at some point in its life. So this side's pretty straightforward. Aaron's going to go ahead and start getting the preliminary. I think we're just going to cut a 15 by 19 plate, and then we'll kind of start notching and carving on from them. From there, this side over here is going to be a little bit more tricky. We got this fuel tank right in our way here, and yeah, it's not quite as easy and as open as the other side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go ahead and pull that fuel tank off there so we can get in there to work, do what we need to do. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue, and that 1/2 inch plate's going to be too thick to go behind here, so I'm either going to have to shim this out, come behind it, or we're going to have to notch up and around it. Haven't decided yet. To be determined. Alrighty, so while I was getting the fuel tank off, Aaron gave me a hand there at the end. He was cutting out these 1/2 inch steel plates we're going to use for brackets to hold that exhaust system. And this is the first one, so basically we got to notch this out. We got to notch that out for the exhaust pipe to sit in there. And we're going to clip this corner to dress it up a little bit. That'll basically bolt to the frame right here, go around the battery box thing, and then that should saddle right down in it. So I got that side laid out and ready to cut. I'm gonna jump over and lay out the other side. It's gonna be a little bit trickier because we gotta go around that bracket for the fuel tank, but I think we can get it.
Oh yeah, I've got faith in you.
Well, if not, we'll just have
Everything I've taught you, you should be able to lay that out in about 2-3 minutes and have it perfect.
Well, I mean, ironically, I am waiting on you.
All right, I was talking to my people, so yeah. That's my fault.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth right here.
Go for it.
If it don't fit, it's layout guy's fault.
No.
I mean, I cut that right on the money.
I talked to your kindergarten teacher one time, and they weren't that convinced you could follow the line.
And you know what? This ain't no joke.
Johnny Post.
It's getting harder to see them lines. I don't know if you noticed, but whenever I lay mine out, I use that bright white
Paint marker.
paint marker. It's easier to see.
It's harder to erase on my end though. Oh, look at that.
Now.
Look at that. That is...
All right, how's that look right there?
I don't see no issues with that at all, do you?
Nope.
Nice weldable gaps, tight everywhere.
It shows it can go up a little bit.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, you're supposed to have that same clearance all the way around.
All right. Yep. All right, weld her out.
I like her. I like her a
You gonna
lot.
tack it or what?
No, we gotta drill holes in it first.
Oh, you're drilling holes in
We
it.
just
Yeah.
we gotta make sure it fits.
All right.
Always trying to jump
I'm
the
ready.
gun.
I'm ready to get
Always
this
trying to
done.
jump the gun. All right, while Aaron was cutting the other one, I got this one all drilled and I got a couple bolts in it, got it mounted. It's the moment of truth on the other side. This one here had an extra notch in it, so I hope you followed the line. Oh,
All right. Now,
that is nice.
let's see what it looks like going up.
Yep, there's where it needs to be.
All right. It all looked pretty good, doesn't it?
Looks really good.
All right.
It's gonna share a couple bolts with the transfer case here, then we'll just have to drill some bolts up there. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, exciting progress. I got all my holes drilled. Look at that, man. I think I missed my call on being a machinist.
Did you video any of that?
That's a joke. I'm not even supposed to be a machinist. But those holes do line up nice.
They line up nice, but did you video?
I don't think they wanted to see me drill.
Oh,
those.
they didn't?
No, I didn't actually drill. Hey, this side went way better than that side.
I was wanting them to see.
This video clip is not about drilling holes. This video clip is about exhaust. No, you know, now you got me off confused. That's what we're doing. We're exhaust progress. There we go.
Yep.
All right, so we got our bracket made on both sides. I cleaned this one up nice. Aaron, I don't know what he's been doing over there. Too much paperwork, I guess. But these things, man, dude, those fit in there nice. That is nice. Look at that. That is, gosh. Oh, wowzers, that's nice. Okay, so next thing's next. We got to center this up. So I'm at 15. I'm at 17.
I'm at 17 and 8 right
That's exactly where I'm at, 17 and 8.
You are?
I'm 17 to 16th. That's pretty close. What are you off the cab?
I am
I'm like 7.
8.5.
8.5?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. 7 and
I like 7.
16th.
I like 7 and 1/8, so we're good.
Man,
Want me to take a hammer and dent the cab right there so your measurement's right?
You'll bust off the 10 layers of paint. Well, it's all off now.
So-
You ain't got to worry about that.
So what you checked that? That's level, right? Truck sitting level?
The truck's set level. Put the level on this. I about crapped when I seen that it was all set and level.
Must mean we did something right yesterday.
Yeah.
So here's my thought process is I think we need to tack that in. We missed your little mishap yesterday.
I missed that little mishap.
I'm gonna tell on you. So we had this frame. I'm talking this frame couldn't have been any closer. This frame was, I mean, this frame was closer than this frame was from the factory.
You told me to tack it just to hold it now. Remember,
Well, just to hold it was key.
I didn't realize you were going to flip the truck over on
No,
the
so
side.
anyways, we're sitting over here admiring our work from a distance, and we're here crack, and the truck goes, we did, so we spent our half an hour getting it all on. We didn't quite get it as good as we did the first time, but it's still pretty close.
It's within a 30 seconds.
It's within a 30 seconds, so.
Yeah.
But we had it right the first time. Somebody's tack didn't hold.
We were within a 64th.
Hope your welds hold better than your tack.
I do too.
We're gonna have a major Captain Kleeman crash. All right, man, we got good clearances on the drive shaft. We got good clearances on the cab. Our brackets look amazing. I think it's time to commit to welding that thing in there. So let's tack her off. So while I was working on the brackets, Aaron went ahead and cut this out right here. This is a diamond, so that should allow these exhaust stacks we got cut, which are basically what we did is we put a level up there on top. And I'm thinking from my bed measurements, I want my exhaust stacks to be about 4 inches higher than the cab. I got hopes of putting some sort of light bar up there if I can find a way to do it without destroying it while loading brush and stuff. But anyways, we got 22.5 cut on the top of these. And this thing should fit in there at an angle. We did not cut the window in there because I think we're going to do that after we get the stacks tacked on. We should be able to reach up in the bottoms. There'll be a plate there. Stay tuned. It should work. I don't know. Famous last words.
Famous last words, watch this.
You know, I got a feeling as impressive as the videos building this truck's going to be, there's going to be an equally impressive video of this thing buried in the mud somewhere. I got a stinking suspicion that one's probably on its way. So anyways, we got to build it first. Sure that's where you want it?
That's where I want it. I'm not really worried where you want it. I'm putting it where I want it.
Well, this exhaust is going to be stout enough if we put tow hooks on the side of it, we roll the truck over, we can just hook to it, flap it back up, right?
You better believe it. You gotta remember who's welding it all together now.
I can see it now. Why does your exhaust have X braces in it? Hopefully you'll never know why.
Yeah.
Looking good, it's looking good. All right, Aaron's got all this tacked off in there. That's nice and solid. That thing is actually level both ways, which is incredible. We went out and had welded, what was that, dummy plate?
Yeah.
What'd you call it a while ago? Rudder plate? You said weld a rudder plate on there.
No, I didn't say rudder plate.
You did too. I swear you said rudder plate. Anyways, what that's gonna do is hopefully hold the stack so we can get it all situated and looking pretty. I'm excited. I can't stand it no more. Let's put her in there.
You get home. Can you get it?
Let's do that.
Right direction. Now, you're gonna have to okay, it'll draw that way just a little bit. Is that what it needs? Man, that is awesome. Just one little tap. Needs to go that way.
I mean, just not much.
You don't freaking like it. I'm gonna tap on this side.
That's it. Still good. Yeah. Man, oh man. She is coming together.
That looked good with that big smoke rolling out of it.
Yeah.
I'm already visualizing this. See that smoke rolling out?
Oh, I do see the smoke coming out. Oh.
Hey, best part about it is when I'm welding that out, after getting both up, welding that out, just watch.
Man, I can't find a flaw in that anywhere. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
We may have to do some grading or something on this one to keep you from burning yourself climbing in and out of the truck, but that's all. That all can be done pretty easy. I like the sight line. I like it, man. I like it. I like it.
Next move, we go on the other side, get that one tacked on.
You want to tack that one on enough to where we can knock your rudder plate off?
Yeah. Where are you coming up with these
That's what
words?
you called it a while ago. It was a rudder plate. I thought we were working on a truck, but apparently you think we're working on a boat. No wonder you've been confused all day.
Oh, man. I tell you.
It looks good with one stack. You want to see how good it looks with two?
Yes, I do.
All right. This way. There we go.
Side, front to back, you're good?
No.
A little bit of tack.
Let's see what it goes. Right there.
Okay, hold it right there, ready?
Yep. Damn close, Tom.
Yep.
We're getting close too. And eyeball across those things there, like dead nuts. Okay.
I like it.
Man, I cannot find a flaw one in that placement. Can you? That is sharp. Look at that, man. The bracket looks good. The placement looks good. It lines up with the cab. I mean, it's like every sight line on them things is just spot on. Here, I'll do it.
Hey, look at that.
Glad I can make you look good today. That is sharp. So, all right. So I think what we need to do from here is I'm actually going to draw these out on the floor because we need to figure out how long to make those snoots on top. I basically want to make them where they're a little wider than my bed, so I don't. Hopefully, I don't get black stuff all over my bed, and maybe inevitable. But why don't you help me get an outside to outside measurement? I'll draw that out on the floor, and then while I'm cutting those pieces, I'll let you weld that all off.
Sounds good.
I think you can weld most of that off here on the truck, can't you?
Yeah. That should be able to weld it all right there. Outside measurements. You're wanting this measurement?
Yep. Yep. I need outside to outside somehow, way, shape, or form.
No. This ain't good. So let's say 79 and a half. 79 and a half.
79 and a half.
Yep.
Let's check it down below just for the
Yeah.
crap of it. And the verdict is?
We're within a 16 easy. I'm like the 79 and a half and the 79 and 9/16, it's right in between.
So does that mean you have a good level or I'm good at reading a level?
You had good eyes on doing what I told you to do.
Oh, gosh, here
Who
we
got
go.
that little speed level out? The little 6-inch.
And who used it?
I
It's just
know.
like a track hose. The level's only as good as the operator.
Well,
I'm just trying to say, I guess I can
it's
got
not
me.
like, well, I can't see, I can feel it. I can feel it and I can hear it in. That level I can't feel or hear it in.
That's what you got me for.
Huh?
what
I know.
All right, so now that we got that measurement, I'm gonna lay this out on the floor over here. And I think once I get it laid out, I'll kind of make sense what I want to do. Stick with it. All right, so while Aaron's getting that welded up, I got this beautiful, beautiful picture drawn here on the floor. I probably could have figured this out using math, or I probably could have drew it to scale, but I'm a visual guy. Why not just draw a picture full size? So this line right here represents the outside of the stack. this line right here represents the outside of the bed. I believe it's a 8.5 inch offset. So this mark right here represents the height of the stack we have on there now. And if we go at a 45-degree angle, we need to get to that line, which makes it like 11 3/4, 12-inch piece. So didn't have to draw both sides, but I did just to make sure everything is kosher. In theory, what that should do, I'll show you guys over here on my blueprint I got drawn out. This would be a lot easier if I had the bed here. We're kind of building all pictures, but if I flip back through here, stick with me. We want that exhaust to come out right there on the corners of that bed and be just a little bit out past it. So that's what all these measurements are based off of, is to get that exhaust to come out right there where it's just out past the bed, but it's still tucked in pretty tight. So now that we have all that figured out, what I need to do is I need to cut a 22.5 on one end of this, and then I need to go from the short point to the face at 45. That's simple, right? All right, got both my top pieces cut. Them turned out pretty sharp while I was doing that. Aaron come in here and did a couple things. I don't know if you guys can see up in there, but we actually cut that part of the tube out right there so the exhaust can flow from this tube into that tube. We also cut the hole right there for the exhaust inlet. I got to weld a piece of, I got to cut a piece of exhaust pipe to go on there. And then with all that, we made these pieces here, which will weld up on the bottom of here to cap all that off. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful, man, behind the scenes?
Look, you pointing it at me?
No, I'm pointing at this.
Oh, you're pointing
yeah,
at
we
that.
definitely need to clarify that. Definitely need to clarify that.
All right, I'm gonna knock that slag off that you forgot to get.
I forgot to get, you won't let me touch a tool that makes slag, so how did I forget it?
I did it, but I told you to clean it up so it's ready for me to weld.
I'm too busy being an expert fitter.
You've been doing an excellent job.
I know.
I mean, you have. I gotta let your viewers know that you have been doing an excellent job. I am very proud of you.
You know, the most impressive part is I didn't even pay him. Hell, I don't even pay him at all.
I know. Okay, I like that. Let me get this side. All right, we're ready. Waiting on you. You get where you like it, and I'm gonna tack this back corner.
There's my happy medium.
I love it over here. Ready?
Yeah. My finger, by the way.
No.
Poke my finger with the wire.
Oh, you gotta watch what you're doing. Eyeball. Still like it everywhere? Okay, I got it.
All right, before you start welding that off, let me get a measurement here real quick. Get a measurement on this exhaust pipe. I think I'm gonna come down. The shorter I make that, the easier it is for you to weld, right?
Yeah, I mean, it don't have to be extremely short. It's just...
I'm gonna go 3 inches. You're used to working with 3 inches, aren't you?
Right here, 3 inches, isn't it? Measure that.
Oh, that's exactly 3
inches. That's what I mean. Yeah, I am more used to working with it.
All right, we got a donor piece of pipe here. We'll cut her off 3 inches. Gotta be a straighter cut than whoever did that. And welder on her.
Hurry up!
I'm going. Safety guy.
Hey,
I have to ask.
believe that?
I have to ask. Is this?
I'm not 6 foot off the ground.
I see you're stretching for answers there. Is that the intended use for the step stool? For people who missed the live feed recently, you self-proclaimed yourself as the safety guy.
Safety guy.
And since then, you've had 3 accidents.
Yeah, I'm not working on a 4th. I had checked this, load tested it, weight tested it.
I will say this much. I mean,
It's under 6 foot.
you're 4 foot off the ground. You're twice as high as you used to be.
I know it. I feel tall.
All right, we're going to start putting the finishing touches on. Here is the ear, snout, whatever you want to call it for this side. Let me climb up there and I'll give him a hand, see what we can do. All right, so how you want to do this?
Well, that's all I have to wash.
Man, look at that. Would you look at that cut? Would you look?
I mean, look
Would
at that
you
cut.
Look at that cut.
But here's the thing.
Look at that.
I need my gap.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Okay, I'm looking at the cut.
All right.
Now, how you gonna give me your gap?
I'm gonna give you your gap just like this, right there.
Then it's gonna be off.
That's fine.
You like it there? I mean,
Yeah.
that's, you don't have to have that big of a gap, but
Well, now you're being.
right there. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Let me get a tack in the center.
Well, if you learn how to weld.
Yeah. I forgot you weren't grounded. So that, okay. Yeah, makes it hard if it ain't got the ground. Okay, you can do
You
it.
wanted an air gap.
Yep. I'll get it this time.
This isn't no Tesla welding here. We're not jumping air gap with electricity.
You get it right where you want it.
I think that's pretty close.
Okay, there. I got a little tack on it.
All right, I think
I love that.
it looks pretty good back here too.
Now let me get a tack on the. I gotta get a tack over here.
Here.
I have to move that. Well,
Can you switch me? Let me get it. All right, go ahead. Go.
ready?
Yep.
Eyeball.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yep, that's hot.
Man, look at that. Look at that.
Actually, it's a little bit tighter gap over here than it is on the other side.
That's your own fault. That whenever you say a little bit tighter, you're talking like a thickness of a piece of paper. 5/1000. What is a 5/1000? I don't know what piece of paper is, but it's not very thick.
Well, I mean, it's still a bigger gap on this side.
You're
I don't
missing
care if it-
the biggest point. Look at the beauty of the snout.
Oh yeah, I love it. I want to get down and look at it pretty bad, but I want to get this welded out.
Well, since you gotta weld it and I don't have to, I'm gonna
You
get
can
down
go
and
down
look
and
at it.
look at
Look at it.
Yeah.
I gotta walk the balance beam here first. This is probably not OSHA approved either. Oh yes, that looks sharp. I love it. It looks awesome. I see you took your safety to the next level.
Hey, well, I can reach the backside doing it.
Well, that's the important part.
That is the important part.
I guess technically, you're not. You're still not
6 foot.
6 foot off the ground.
Exactly. So I am safe. But
So the whole way to the emergency room, I'm gonna say, but you
what
weren't 6 foot off the ground.
Showing them is the penetration I got on that weld.
Well,
That's
here.
why I wanted that gap.
Show them.
Let me see if I can get the camera in here. Oh. All right. See that crack up there? That is weld coming through. That's what I wanted. I wanted that full penetration all the way around. That way I can grind this back down and you'll never know it was even welded.
Were you trying to say as Captain Freeman can bounce off these two trees with it, it'll still be fun?
Yep, man, that looks good. I just can't get away from it. I can't believe it penetrated like that.
Why don't you take a picture and we can save it for later?
Yeah, that's true. We gotta get going. We still got daylight.
We gotta hear this thing. We gotta hear the sound of this thing tonight.
You're waiting on me. All right.
All right, one side down, one side to go. I feel like this is like putting icing on the cake.
Yeah. Let me ride some candy up here.
You're awful needy, you know that?
No, I mean, I think I may have dropped one down.
Are you serious?
Oh, we'll have to look when we get up here. Why'd you hand me a handful of them?
I only handed you two.
2, 3, 4. How many?
Did you drop
3?
If you dropped one down there, we're just gonna hope it has enough power to blow it up out of there.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm a safety man, but not working man. Be careful. I need a gap. That right there. That right there. That right there.
Can we see? If we switch,
Oh, yeah.
see the gap.
Yeah.
Can't see the gap.
That gap has perfect. Like having
Yeah.
you know, get there. There you go. Hey, you were doing it perfect the last time. Okay. I got no gap down here.
We need to do this.
You just want to,
Do that.
and right there, perfect.
Good.
Okay?
And then we do it forward.
You can go a little more if you want.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
We're pretty even around here.
Okay?
Okay.
That's so. That'll work good.
Man, that looks good.
Beautiful.
If that matches up with the bed as good as what I think it's going to in my head, that is gonna be, that is awesome, man. Look at her coming down the road. Just in here, oh, I love it, I love it. All right, man, behind the scenes. I know it's a little bit extra work. We've come this far.
We're gonna hear her run.
We're gonna see what she sounds
Oh
like.
yeah, we are.
Oh, I'm excited. All right, this is gonna be a little bit of a temporary rig in here, but we got some of our exhaust pipe and our flex clamps. Oh, can you get her up on there? Oh yes, oh yes. Let us get that bolted down. Oh yeah. Oh,
All right. Now,
that'll work. Tied up a few clamps. Got to put the fuel tank in and fire this girl up and see what she sounds like. Now you know the only reason to slide this tank back in is to hear what these sound like, right?
yeah.
All right.
Do it.
let's slide her up there and all right, yeah, it's worth it. Let's do it.
Yep.
You ready for the moment of truth?
I am.
All right. Let's fire her up.
Smoke roll.
Here she goes. Different from the cab.
Really?
We'll let her warm up for a second, then we'll goose on her a few times.
Yeah.
Well, man, behind the scenes, I would call that another successful day. It's another project in the books.
Oh yeah, very successful day.
We had big ambitions this morning to get started on the lift axle, and we got sidetracked on the stacks just because they're cool. But as long as it marries up to the bed, which I have no concerns of it doing, I think we're going to be fine. At some point, we're probably going to end up adding a crossbar in between there. I'd like to get some sort of flashy light like I got on the Mac. May do a window protector, and we got enough room here. We left that there kind of a design. I'd like to be able to slide a shovel, put like a shovel rack or something in there, maybe just a little bit of storage for some hand tools. The only thing I think we would have done different is that's where the exhaust comes up. I don't see any reason why we can't move it right here. That would be a much better engineered design, because then you don't have to pull the fuel tank off to work on the exhaust, and it's got a really goofy bend in it down there that I just don't see no point of having that bend in there. So we may rework the exhaust inlet. That's not going to be a huge deal.
No.
If that's the only thing we got to redo, we're good. But anyways, guys, that's going to be a wrap on this one. There, as you guys can tell, there is plenty more to do on this project. I'm thinking the next video, we're probably going to tackle the lift axle. We need to figure that out. Make sure we can clear our drive lines, get our distances and all that stuff figured out. That's the last big piece of engineering we got to do, is get that lift axle in there. So
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment as always.
Catch you on the next one.
Nailed it.